You know how like in your brain everything makes sense, but you try to articulate it and talk it out and it doesn't make sense? That's how I felt talking about the second point. I was just like, what? Oh, a machine. Hello style. Like, I hope. Okay, just saying ahead of time, this video, I don't know if it's gonna make any sense. It's just a bunch of questions and theories, girl. Let's get started. Hello. It is Brina here and welcome to Show Me, the channel where I show you about my life. In this case, TV shows and movies that I've watched. In this video, we're talking about The Bear. The Bear, if you don't know, is a TV show. It's on Hulu. It's like basically like a Hulu original, but it's also under FX. And it's basically about a man named Carmy. He's our main character, who's basically, he's like a well-known chef at one of the best restaurants in the world. His brother basically like passes away. And so he goes from, I think it's California, back to Chicago, where his brother's restaurant is. And so now he's kind of trying to like run the restaurant and like bring it from like Z to A, from the bottom to the top. Season 1 came out, I believe, like last year, and it's 8 episodes long, so I've only watched half of it. I was gonna watch the entire thing, but then I was like, I want to like only watch this amount. Like I only want to watch half of it. That way I can kind of like, you know, like gather all my thoughts about the show so far and think about my theories and questions basically, and like give myself a chance to like kind of talk about it before I really like finish it off. I do want to say that like The Bear itself, like the pacing is very like slow, not in a bad way, but in a way where it's like you do have to watch the entire thing to like kind of get all your answers. I'm starting to realize that every episode they drop like a little hint here and there. And so I say all that to say, I kind of wanted to do a review originally of like the first 4 episodes, but it seems like it's going to be more like questions and like theories that I have about where the season is going to go. Because again, like, I don't know any of these people because the show won't let me know. The show's being slow about everything, but in a good way, in a well-paced way. I have my iPad, of course. I kind of like put things down like based on like what I thought was important for like at least the first 4 episodes. And our first thing is Carmy himself. And I put Carmy in his trauma and issues because this man is troubled. He needs help. He like literally needs mental help. Carmy, I mean, just based on like the information that we have, obviously like holds himself to a high regard. It's not coming off as like an arrogant way, where it's like, oh, I came from a like 5-star restaurant, so now you guys need to reach my level. But it's almost as if he has like unrealistic expectations, if not in like the actual goal, then like the length of time that it should be reached. The restaurant that his brother left him in Chicago is basically called The Beef, right? Not like really the best restaurant ever. Think of like a 3, maybe 2-star restaurant that you know, like, you know, like it's pretty well established, so you go there, but like you know that it could be a lot better. So Carmy, you have to imagine like he's coming from like this 5-star restaurant in California and he's like going to this like Chicago shop that's like 2 stars maybe. And so he already has like this perfectionist mindset, at least that's what it's coming off as, and these like high standards. It kind of comes from a place of like goodness, like he's trying to like get these people, like the staff and like the restaurant to a good place. Like he's trying to bring it to like what he knows it can be. But you know how like perfectionists will kind of like have these high standards and like unrealistic expectations. It's like that's Carmy. So like even though he has like, and you know, everyone's best interest at heart, coming at it very strong, and like I think he's trying to kind of like rush it, and it's causing him like more problems and more stress. And this guy's already very stressed. Like not to say that the restaurant's actually good now, because it still has a long ways to go. But I feel like maybe he needs to kind of like ease into things a little bit more. But like brings me to my next point, where it's like this big question that I have, basically, what's better? Like I put it down as like a machine style or a more home style. And it's basically like, is it better to have like this like high strung restaurant that like works like a machine and it like, you know, gives perfect results? Or is it better to have that kind of like home style, like that kind of chill vibe where it's like maybe it's not perfect but it's like good enough, like the smaller shop that like, oh yeah, we're not good but we're a team that loves each other, and through that love and through that friendship we can like make the results. And so The Bear kind of like showcases this in a kind of a sense. Like it kind of shows that like the system they call it the system that the sandwich shop restaurant has right now is definitely not working. But you know, obviously the shop was able to run somehow, granted in debt, but it was able to run. They had like dedicated customers and people who look at the restaurant fondly. So it kind of like leads you to question, like, is what Carmy's doing the right thing? You know, like these things that like, yes, it's gonna like produce results, yes, it's gonna bring them the glory, but is that better than just having like a family style, like a home style way of having a restaurant? If that makes sense. Again, the bear isn't like super like firm on that. Ironically, it's not really like kind of like being like, oh, what Carmi is doing is like 100% wrong. So it's, to me, it's not really doing the comparison, but it's just my own thoughts where it's like, I'm thinking, I'm like, Carmi, like, bruh, you need to like back off and chill. Like these people have their system, the system.
It's not system. What is this system?
It's Michael's system.
The system makes no sense.
So yeah, but the show kind of makes it clear that the system is not working. It's just me. I'm like, I guess because I've been brainwashed by the media, I'm like, the system will work. You just need to give them, you just need to relax. Because it does show like an example of Carmi coming from his own system, like that fine dining system, and how that also doesn't work. Maybe like the system of the sandwich shop is not working, but the system he had in like California is also not about to work. So like they're gonna have to find like a happy medium in between, I think. I don't know if any of that makes sense. Sydney, again, is another character. She's another main character. She also has a lot of weight behind her belt, as in like experience with cooking and stuff like that. So she's a great chef. She's one of those people like you would look at the sandwich shop and be like, oh, what are you doing here? Like you need to do better. But she basically wants to work at the sandwich shop because she has like memories tied to it. That was her dad's favorite restaurant. She also knows, she also sees the potential that the sandwich shop could be brought up in. And so like, yes, she has like these degrees and this experience and this work ethic and it's like these amazing ideas that like logically you'd be like, oh no, you need to be somewhere better than this. She wants to be here and she wants to be a part of like bringing this place to like glory again. But just like Carmi, like her story is like being pieced together very slowly. Actually, I would say that her story is not even really even coming out. Like you get you get even less than Carmi. Like Carmi obviously is the main character, so you're gonna get more of his like hints dropped. But like Sydney, girl, she ain't getting no. She's a great character, but like now that I think about it, like you don't really get any hints other than like what she said about her dad. And then like you can tell that she's a very smart lady who understands like how business works too, because she was like dropping all these like this whole portfolio of like how to save money and stuff like that. But like in terms of like, oh, what brought her to the restaurant for real and like what even brought her to cooking, like it's kind of like hard to get a gauge of that because like, you know. But what we do know about Sydney so far is that like maybe, I'm thinking maybe she has like one of those I'm saying this, don't take it like too bad, but like a feminist agenda type of thing. Now, not in like a, oh, the feminist agenda, like it's not like that. I'm not really familiar with like the chef world, like the culinary world, but like I'm assuming it's very male dominated maybe. I watched The Menu, which is a movie that's like also kind of about the culinary world. And like, obviously the chef was a man and there was like a segment where he had taken advantage of like one of his female staff. He's her boss and he was attracted to her and he made her feel uncomfortable and as if she had to do things in order to keep the job.
I refused his advances. He kept me in his kitchen and refused to look me in the eye or speak directly to me. You know, basically harassing her for having a crush, for him having a crush on her. Comparing it to that, maybe there is like a like not a hierarchy, like misogyny and like male dominated field in the culinary world. And it's already very like hierarchical, like already. Like especially if you're doing the fine dining, like the whole brigade thing, like it's already very hierarchical. So I can't imagine also adding in women and men, like that kind of dynamic to it as well. And I'm assuming most like sous chefs and like most of the chefs at the very top are like men, you know? So you kind of like get this idea of like maybe that's what Sydney's coming from. Her and Tina are like basically, actually, I think they're the only two women in the actual staff, now that I think about it. So she had made a comment to Tina about like, I know how it is to be a woman in this field. And so I wonder if like that's gonna play a part in her character. Again, like I said, she already established herself as a very intelligent woman who like likes to be heard and likes her ideas to be like considered, and like even if you don't follow what she says, like she wants to be heard basically. So maybe that's like a big thing of her character, like the fact that she didn't feel heard and she wasn't a part of anything like actually bigger, you know? She just was like what do they call it? Like a peg in the machine, where it's just like, you just part of this machine, you just got to do your job and that's it. And she wants to be part of something bigger. So that's the only thing I can think about for her. Speaking of Sydney, another point I have is that, so this one's kind of dumb. It's a little less serious than like all the other stuff. What really brought me back to The Bear was I saw an edit of Sydney. And because I saw an edit of Sydney, I just wanted to see more like stuff about the show. So I went on TikTok, of course, and I tried to see. And like one big thing is like Carmi and Sydney's relationship. And like I was down, okay? Keyword was, I was like down for it. I was like, oh yes, I love this type of stuff. First 5 minutes of the first episode of The Bear, Sydney is like automatically introduced. And like you can already see that they're gonna have like a dynamic, but you don't know what type of dynamic. I like that kind of stuff. I like the troubled guy, sweet girl, like dynamic.
I like Sydney's character. I like Carmi's character. So I was like, and they're both attractive people. I was like, yeah, like I'm down for this ship. So I was down. I was ready to ship it. And I'm so sad because I can't do it. I don't know. I know for a fact there's going to be like more stuff later on. And there's already a lot in the first 4 episodes. But like what I have so far, like I can't see them as like anything romantic. Like I can only see them right now as like a mentorship. Like not a really, even right now it's like mentorship, not a relationship. Not like father-daughter, not even like super like teacher-student, like literally mentor, like someone who has more experience mentoring someone who has less experience. And I think that's especially important because like I said, Carmi has trauma already in the dining industry. His like upper was like very verbally abusive to him.
You're terrible at this. You're no good at it.
And like I said, I don't know if that's how the culinary world actually is like in real life. And maybe it is, but like, yes, I mean, technically it turned Carmi into this man who's like pays attention to detail and is like an amazing chef and like knows his stuff. But at the same time, it's like, at what cost, you know, because you're like verbally abusing and berating this man, like dropping his self-esteem and his like confidence and making it so like he has like these all-time high standards for himself, you know? So it's like Carmi suffered a lot, you know, just to be like himself, like, you know, this perfect image of himself. And so I like to see his relationship with Sydney because even though he is still very tough on her, like I can already tell like maybe in the future, like maybe in future episodes, if they keep this like mentorship, you know, relationship going, I can see Carmi like becoming the mentor that he always wanted to her. As he changes and as he grows as a person, he can mentor her in the way that he would have wanted to be mentored before. Like I said, I don't know if they're gonna come back and be like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna get like some good, like some more stuff, like makes me want to ship them more. But like right now I cannot ship it. Like I literally can't. I'm trying my best. I'm like trying to see something romantic in everything that they do and I just can't see it. Like I literally see it as like on both parts. I see it as like non-romantic mentorship and I'm just so depressed. I'm so sad. Okay, like what? I did see some comments on like a few edits, like people like mentioned a pastry guy. And of course I didn't watch the show, but now that I'm like 4 episodes in, I'm thinking they're talking about Marcus. So Marcus is a guy who basically, he bakes bread, but like he has like a passion for like desserts and pastries. So he makes pastries. So I don't know if that's who pastry guy is, because he has a name. So I don't know, like, why didn't they just call him Marcus? Or if like pastry guy is like someone completely different who like will come in the later episodes. But like, I'm gonna need to find out who it is. Because if it's Marcus, I can see that. Like I can definitely see that. I'm still on the fence about them romantically. Just to give me a few more moments between the two of them. And like, I think I'll ship them because they are also very cute. They help each other. They depend on each other to like do good. And it's like, it's very cute. So I can definitely ship that. But Carmi and Sydney, right now I really can't. And it's so sad because I really wanted to. I did have like one more thing I wanted to talk about. It's like another theory where it's like, why didn't Michael want Carmi to work with him? So basically you find out, I forgot which episode it is, but you find out that Carmi has always wanted to work at the sandwich shop, but his brother didn't want him to. So it really took his brother dying for Carmi to even like be able to run the sandwich shop. It kind of makes you wonder, like, first of all, his brother's name is Michael, but like, first of all, apparently he also has like a lot of issues. So girl, but you know, it kind of makes you wonder, like, why didn't his brother want him to work there? Did he see a lot of potential in Carmi and he didn't want Carmi to kind of like be in like the gutter, you know, like basically live in the gutter? Like, it's like, I see so much in you, like you need to stay in California where you will grow as a person and you don't have to be in this garbage place that I'm in, because like obviously it brought him to the deep end. Like it makes you kind of think, you know? And he ended up leaving the restaurant to his brother's name anyway. Maybe he was desperate at that point. Maybe he was just like, listen, like I can't even do this anymore. Girl, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. This is like a shorter video because again, like it's a lot more theories and questions that I have rather than actual like stuff to talk about. I always say it, but I hope it made sense. I'm so sorry if it didn't. You guys should definitely watch The Bear. I didn't know about it, so maybe other people don't know about it, but then again, it's like Emmy nominated, like, you know, Emmy winning, like it's a very high regard show, so like maybe I was just out the loop. Obviously people know about it, but like if you haven't watched it, honestly I think you should watch it. I think it's honestly really good. I know I said about everything, but for real this is good. When I said like, oh, it's really good about the idol, in the last video, I want to correct myself and just say like it was entertaining. That's what made it good. It wasn't like boring and like unwatchable. But I think that The Bear is actually good. Like it's actually good TV that people should watch. Like I really want to watch the next 4 episodes, and I am gonna watch the next 4 episodes. But yeah, this is episodes 1 through 4 of The Bear. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched the whole video up to this point, if you like the video, like the video. If you like me, think about subscribing. And if you want to talk about The Bear at all, leave a comment down below. You can also DM me on my social media. I have a TikTok and an Instagram linked down below. Bye.